welcome back to our channel. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Rachel, and we're the Stitch Sisters.
Today is our long-awaited spring trend.
Yes, it is. Now this has turned into something very different to what we originally started out to be. So
it's evolved.
It has, yeah. So every season we like to go and have a look around the shops and try some things on and have a look at the new trends that are coming out and see what suits us and see what we like.
Yep.
And then to go back and think about the key pieces that we'd like to recreate and find the patterns and fabrics that will allow us to do that.
Yeah.
So that's generally what this video is about.
Yes.
So it's kind of an overview of the trends, but
Yes.
more from our perspective. So we appreciate that some of the stuff that we want to make is not going to appeal to all of you.
Yeah.
And
some of the stuff we've discarded maybe right up your street, and that's fine.
Yes. And I think that that's what a fashion should be. I think it's very personal, very individual.
Absolutely.
And what we'd like to do with these videos is to inspire you to just go out on your own adventure. So it's perfectly fine to ignore all the trends. We're certainly not people who think that just because it's in fashion you should wear it.
No.
But if you like fashion and you do get inspired by the new trends as we do, then it's fun to play around with new looks and try new things. And if that's not something you've done for a while, then why don't you get yourself down the shops? You don't have to buy anything.
No.
Just try it on. We call it shopping with our phone because we just take lots and lots of pictures, because these days that's much easier than trying to remember where you saw something,
which one it was and which shop it was in.
Yes.
And then you can go back and decide, look at the pictures, see if you actually like them in hindsight, just not from that initial response. You can look at yourself in it and think, is it flattering? Does the colour suit me? And then you can order it.
Yes.
Or you recreate it.
Yeah, exactly. But we also like to intentionally try on things that we wouldn't normally go for.
Yeah.
Just because, as you know, when you sew your own clothes, there's nothing more frustrating than having this idea in your head and spending all this time thinking about it, finding the perfect fabric, finding the pattern, creating it, and then you finally get it on and it just doesn't look the way you thought it would.
No.
We've all done that so many times before. So the shops, whilst it's not going to give you as good a fit, or it's not going to give you exactly what your vision is, it's a really good way of you at least seeing whether that's something that you're actually going to wear and you're going to like.
It's the safe option. It's like they've made a wearable toile for you to try on.
Absolutely.
Just see it that way, and then you can recreate it in your own home.
Exactly. But having said all of that, we also think that it's perfectly fine to buy as well. So if you try something on that you love and you don't have the time or the inclination to recreate it, then don't feel guilty about buying it. And we often just think to ourselves, just because we can make doesn't mean that we have to make absolutely everything in our wardrobe.
No.
Ours will always be a mixture.
Absolutely.
Mine is often a mixture of second-hand stuff as well. In fact, yours is these days as well.
Yeah.
So I like my wardrobe to be a mixture of new stuff, stuff that I've made, stuff that I've refashioned, and stuff from the charity shop.
Because sometimes, for me particularly, I fall in love with fabric. So if I find a dress that's a fabric that I love, I know I'm not going to be able to get that from the fabric shops, and if I do get it, it will be at least a year before it actually comes through to the fabric shops. So if I love it, I will buy it. Because it's not about recreating it, it's about that specific fabric.
Yes.
So I let myself do that as well, and I think that's a healthy way to do it. And sometimes something is just going to take you too long, and if your schedule is too busy, that you don't have 4 weekends to spend making a coat, and you fall in love with that, buy it. It's fine. It's
and also sometimes your skills aren't quite at that level yet.
No.
So if this thing that you want is something that you don't have the capability to make at this stage, and that's fine as well.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're saying is there are no rules that are right and wrong.
No.
Do what suits you. You're creating your wardrobe. You're creating the looks that you want to wear, and it can be a mixture of anything, whatever makes you happy.
Yes. I'm going to make what makes me happy. Are you going to make what
I'm going to make what makes me happy. So should we tell you some of the things boom that make us happy?
Yes.
Spring and summer 2019.
Woo, let's do it.
So we're breaking this into 2 videos because we've got a lot to cover. We are going to be referring to the laptop, so apologies if we look away. Just because it's easier for us to be able to remind ourselves of all the things that we want to share with you. There is so much. So in this first video, we're going to be going over some of the key looks, some of the key trends. And the second video, we'll be looking more at fabrics and prints.
And colour.
And colours,
Yes.
yes, exactly. So it may be that you like a certain look and you want to recreate a certain look, or it may just be that you particularly like a certain colour or a certain print. And so by splitting them into 2 videos, it allows us to keep them a little bit shorter.
And then you can mix and match between the
Yes.
2. So if you like the prairie dress trend or the 70s trend and you like the yellow trend, you can mix them together and make your own version.
Absolutely.
Pick and mix.
So shall we start with the first trend, which is good timing for us really, because if you have seen it, we very recently recreated some 1970s dresses from original vintage patterns. We will link up there so you can go and watch that video. And 70s is a huge trend.
Yes.
For spring and summer. It's been around for a while now.
It has. It's not going away.
Certainly not going anywhere.
No, no.
But the thing we love about it, the way that it's being interpreted for the spring and the summer, is loose, flowy, oversized. Think maxi length, big sleeves,
Bohemian,
lots of fabric,
flowers
billowing,
in your hair.
floaty. Yes, exactly. And for me, that means comfort.
Yes.
It means being cool. It means not showing all the bits that I don't want to show.
Not fitted.
Yes, nothing too restrictive.
And beautiful drapey fabrics.
Yes.
Light, fluffy fabrics.
Yes,
yes.
So we're kind of calling this trend sort of 70s boho because it's very much a bohemian vibe, which I think tends to come out every summer anyway. We all get a little bit more bohemian, don't we?
Yes.
But I love the 70s interpretation of that.
Yes.
So the first thing that we were going to talk about was prairie dresses, because we mentioned this in our autumn trends videos, and that's still going strong. And I made my black floral Martha dress as my interpretation of a prairie dress, and I have worn it a lot.
Yes.
But with the high neck, I would prefer something that is a little bit more floaty. And also the Martha is kind of semi-fitted in the top area, so it's loose on the bottom, but it is semi-fitted on the top. I like the idea of much more oversized.
Yes. I haven't made one yet, so again, I'm lacking from my autumn
saving
wardrobe.
herself.
But it's but we have found some cracking patterns. So
yes,
we
absolutely.
Can talk through
so
them.
first of all, let's show you some of the pictures of the things that we tried on. So Nikki and I both tried on a very nice floral prairie dress that we found in And Other Stories, and it's this lovely kind of ditzy floral print with
cream background,
and yellows and oranges in the flowers, and it had quite wide sleeves. It was very loose fitting but tied up with a belt at the centre.
And frill at the bottom.
Yes, exactly. So we thought this was a really good interpretation of a prairie dress. You also tried on one which was this lovely brown and white one that had that lovely frilly bib on the front.
Yes.
But again, the fit was quite similar. That one had an elasticated waist.
They're pulled in at the waist to give you some shape, but there's more fabric that's billowing at the top and billowing at the bottom. But the pulled inness, whether that's a belt or whether it's elastic, is giving you the shape and helping create your feminine curves.
Yes,
kind of thing.
exactly.
So it's not like
the thing I love about these looks is that you get to, when it's a little bit colder, you can still wear it with boots.
Yes.
Cowboy boots are still a big thing, and they look great with prairie dresses, but ankle boots, any kind of tan boots, that sort of thing look great. But when it's warmer, flip-flops, sliders, and just literally gliding around.
Swishing and swooshing around.
So we've definitely got plans to make prairie dresses, and we found a number of patterns that might inspire you. So Berda style are particularly good with these kind of patterns. There's 109. So with Berda, the numbers are interesting because it's done by the month, and then there's the code, the issue and the code. So rather than give you the codes, we'll probably just link to them below. But there's this one here which has these lovely tucks at the front.
And the sleeves on
almost like a cape, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's definitely very floaty.
And it's just beautiful.
And then this other one here, which there's an actual picture and a line drawing, we just think has lots and lots of detail in it. So these ones are both more fitted versions of the prairie dresses that we saw, and what appealed to us, whilst this very much fits the bill, these patterns very much fit the bill on prairie dresses, what appealed to us most about the ones that we tried on was the fact that if they're elasticated or they're belted and tied in, then if during the course course of the day they feel a bit tight, you can always let them out. Or if you're suddenly going out for the evening and you want to stand up a bit straighter, you can tie it up a bit tighter. So we like the idea of having that flexibility. So another possible option for that would be the Roscoe blouse and dress from True Bias. Now this is either a short blouse or a shorter dress. But there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't add extra length to this.
And move the ruffle down to the bottom.
Absolutely, like literally slash it in the middle and bring that down to the hem that you want. It's very full, but again, just a belt or making a tie belt out of the same fabric or putting an elastic channel at the waist would bring that right in.
And you can shorten those sleeves as well, can you? If you wanted a shorter sleeve version, that would be really easy to do.
Exactly.
I don't know whether maybe it comes with a short sleeve version, I'm not sure.
So we like that idea, and we also like this Sew Over It Florence dress. If you like a slightly more streamlined version, but again, this isn't super fitted at the waist, so it's fitted around the arms, but it's slightly looser on the waist area. So that gives you kind of best of both worlds, I think.
Perfect.
So if you fancy that one, lots of options. If you fancy that one, we have found a range of fabrics. Now the thing to think about when you're thinking about those kind of oversized, billowy dresses is you want very, very light, floaty, drapey fabrics. So chiffon, georgette, voile, viscose, all of those
cotton
kind
lawns,
of things. Cotton lawns are perfect for that sort of thing. So think thin and drapey. Just bear in mind that some of those fabrics will also be sheer. So you have to think about whether you want to potentially line it also with something light, or whether you want to wear a slip underneath it, or you know, or just not, and just wear
but then it
over
might
a bikini or something.
Over a bikini, exactly. That, you know, the see-throughness is part of the appeal for that kind of garment.
Exactly. So we'll put up some pictures of fabrics that we found.
And everything's going to be linked underneath.
So we will link everything underneath. So we found some nice voiles at Minerva. So here's a good example of one that's navy and orange, and it's got that kind of vintage vibe. There's a few here from Fabric Godmother, who has a gorgeous range of... There's a section on her website which is viscoses, modals and voiles, I think. And some really lovely retro prints, but particularly this yellow one would fit in with another trend we'll be talking about in the other video, which is all about the yellows, marigolds. So that's lovely. And then you found some lovely viscoses, some art gallery viscoses at La Marzi,
one from La Marzi, one from Ray Stitch, another viscose, which is, I love that dark background, but those white flowers just really make it pop. I think it's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Because that black background and floral is still very much another trend as well. So, and there are lots of fabrics around for that at the moment.
Yes, exactly. And then there's also cotton lawns. Lady McElroy has has a good range of cotton lawns, and you can buy those in all sorts of places. So we've obviously put some pictures up for inspiration, but we will link to anything that we show in the video below. So if you want to go and find the specific fabric, then you'll be able to do that. So that's just prairie dresses, still within the 70s trend. You're quite taken with tiered skirts, aren't you?
I am. I'm slightly obsessed with tiered skirts. I think the fuller the better. And this is something that I didn't think I could wear. And so until I tried one on in the shops, I've always been drawn to more of a straight silhouette maxi skirts and nothing too big. Because I'm tall, I just, you know, that's giantism thing that I've got again. That just, if I'm adding layers and I'm adding a lot of fabric, it's just making me feel bigger. But I've tried this one on in Zara and absolutely fell in love with it. So I want to recreate it, but it's something that's very simple to do. There are lots of patterns. And so it's an easy one. I don't need to buy them. I can just recreate it.
You found some great patterns here, haven't you? So Simplicity
that's my favourite,
has one, and that looks like in that picture there it's been made out of a double gauze, which is another fabric, or gauze. It doesn't have to be double, but double usually means it's not sheer. So gauze would be another good fabric to use. And then there's a Burda Easy one there, which again, it's that sort of tiered skirt. And then we've mentioned it in a previous video, but we're totally in love with the La Boheme skirt.
And we're making one.
We are, that's coming at some stage. So that's all very exciting. And even McCall's has a pattern.
Yes, there's lots and lots of them out there. I had loads to choose from, and what I've tried to do is I've tried to pick ones where there's actual layering. So whether it's on the diagonal, so it's got a kind of a high-low bit, or whether it's tiered right the way through.
Yes.
So rather than ruffles, it's tiered, so you've just got more fabric in each layer.
Yes. Now, one of the trends that we'll be talking about in the prints video is patchwork. In fact, no, we'll be talking about patchwork later in this video as part of the craft trend.
Yes.
But any of these tiered skirts would work brilliantly for patchwork.
They really would.
You could, I quite like it when you take two similar prints. So you've got two same colour florals. One is a big print and one is a small print.
Yeah.
But also just completely random fabric.
Yeah.
Print clashing is another trend. So you could even have completely unconnected fabrics in there. You could have a leopard print, a tier, and a spotty tier, and a floral tier. So you could have lots and lots of fun.
So it's a really good one, and it's something that I'm definitely going to make a couple of this summer.
Yeah.
Summer holidays.
Yeah, so I think it's great for people who like the idea of that long floaty sort of prairie dress but don't necessarily want all the fullness up top.
Yeah.
So something like this you could pair with a very simple t-shirt or vest top or something like that.
It's separate
it's just
as well. You don't always want to wear a dress.
Yes.
So sometimes, but they're all elasticated waist as well.
Yeah.
I think they are anyway.
Yeah,
most
comfort.
of them are. So it's
all
comfortable.
about the comfort.
Yeah, perfect.
So this last one that we're going to show you on the 70s trend isn't necessarily a good example of the trend in itself, but it's just quite a funny one for you to see the picture. I tried on a two-piece in Zara. It's not the most flattering picture, but I loved the idea of it on the hanger. What I loved the idea of was making two-piece, so taking that sort of maxi skirt or whatever type of skirt type vibe, and then making a top, a peasant top or a tie-up top in the same fabric, so you're getting that look of a dress. But it's separates again. So this one was kind of a lurex fabric. It had a chevron. I really liked how the skirt had been pieced together so that it was on the bias and they went into V's at the front. But like I said, the fit was not great on me. I did like the puff sleeve, but the combination specifically wasn't great.
No.
But it did remind me of a dress that I fell in love with last summer, which is the dress 47 from Cali Faye collection. But this dress in particular, I think, is a really good interpretation of that Zara outfit. But maybe in a slightly more flattering light. And this is actually a dress, so it's connected at the back.
Oh, you just got that little peekaboo.
I don't see any reason why you couldn't make them as separate.
No.
Depending on how you thought you'd likely to wear them. So that's one that I'm going to be taking on board to try and create that.
What fabrics are you thinking for that?
Well, I like the idea of it being a more of a sort of dressy sort of fabric. So I don't know. I'm thinking that a gauze or a chambray or something might be nice. But I'm also thinking it would be really lovely in a tencel or something, that's very breathable. But what I'm thinking is something that can crease and it's part of the look. Or it doesn't crease that well. So a viscose linen or a tencel or something like that could be really
Excellent.
nice.
None of these are set in stone yet. These are all just ideas for you to jump off from and for us.
Yes, exactly. And clearly there are only so many hours in the day, so we're not going to be able to make all of the things that we're mentioning here, but these are the things that we would like to make.
It's inspiration.
So there's loads and loads of other stuff that we could say about the 70s. If it's not your thing, that's fine, but you could have a nod to it with accessories. So big hats, big floppy hats is the thing again.
Straw bags, big bags, that kind of thing.
So moving on a couple of decades, let's show them the trend that we will not be following.
Look at my face, this is not happening.
We went into H&M, and yes, we know H&M is a younger store, but we still like to shop in H&M, and Divided in particular, which is their youth section, had some pretty hilarious options in there. And it's all about the 90s. 90s rave scene. There is a big trend on the catwalk for that sort of thing, and it's kind of like a surfer type. And I've also heard it described as, imagine French exchange students. That's kind of the look you're going for.
I lived through the 90s once, and I've done that, so I don't particularly want to do it again.
So imagine a denim skirt with a cropped t-shirt and a little mini backpack on your back, and and a hoodie, and or on the rave side, bucket hats and
camouflage gear.
Yeah, exactly.
But then slogan tees are everywhere as well, and that's one thing that I do like.
Yes,
so that's my little
take
nod
a little
to it.
nods to it. Yeah,
Yes.
but it's not something we'll be doing full on. But we did just for your amusement try on a couple of looks. So here I am sporting a 90s raver vibe. So I've got some lovely ripped jeans on, a horrible cropped top, and a hoodie and a bucket hat.
Yes,
I also tried on another bucket hat, which because it was leopard print.
Leopard print bucket hat.
If anything was going to make me like a bucket hat, leopard print would, but no.
No.
And then you tried on some lovely camouflage.
I had a camouflage jacket and camouflage dungaree dress.
Yeah, the sort of thing you'd imagine TLC would have worn. We'll just leave those pictures there for you to have a little giggle at. That is not a trend that we're going to be focusing on at all. So yeah, let's move on. So we've already alluded to it slightly.
Yes.
But craft. So some people are calling it craft work. Some people are calling it sort of handmade. But there's a big trend for anything that looks handmade. So yay for us makers, because we are more in fashion than we've ever been before.
Absolutely, yes.
So a couple of the key things that we've noticed that are everywhere is crochet. So crochet is big on the catwalks, but we're also seeing it pop up in lots of shops.
Yes.
And sometimes that's tops or dresses that are made entirely from crochet, and sometimes it's just little trims and embellishments. And another one is patchwork.
Yes.
So we've seen lots of fabrics where they're printed to look like they're patchwork.
But it's one print.
It's
one fabric.
just printed.
Yeah.
But as makers, we don't even have to do the fake patchwork.
No, we can
get
do the real
to
stuff.
deal.
Absolutely. We did search. We did a look to see if any of those fabrics have actually filtered through to the fabric shops yet, because they will come, but they're not there yet. So you can't buy fake patchwork as one fabric.
But then really, why would you need
Why would
to?
you? No,
Why would
exactly.
you need to when we've got the option? And also, you know, it's a good way to use up your scraps. It's a good way to use up those fabrics in your stash that you just don't have quite enough of.
No.
So yeah, we think that that's one that we definitely fancy incorporating at some stage.
Another part of that craft is embroidery as well. So
that's right.
There's lots of embellishments on jackets and jeans and everything. So go crazy with your embroidery.
So that's everything from sequins to beads to actual embroidery stitches. To fringing, loads of fringing. Fringing is its own trend, but I think it's probably more realistically for day-to-day interpreted as part of that whole, as a small part of a handmade sort of look. Now, if you happen to crochet, then fantastic.
Brilliant.
Because you can start crocheting clothes and you'll be more in fashion than ever before. But if you don't, but you like that look, there are lots of crochet trims that you can get. So you can buy lots of crocheted collars.
And lace as well.
Crocheted
lace is another option.
So there are lots of little things that you can add to
embellishments
something. We'll put in a couple of pictures of things that we saw where the full crochet, but also things with just embellishments. We haven't got any fabrics to recommend for you, because the whole idea for this is you're creating your own textiles and adding your own trims and embellishments. But basically, next time you're at the fabric store, check out the trims, whether it's just, you know, ribbons, sort of ethnic ribbons that have got those lovely sort of tapestry and embroidery on them, or whether it's beautiful crochet trims, you know, whatever you fancy.
If you crochet your own jackets or something, please send us a picture. We're very jealous.
Yes, we want to see. So moving on to utility wear.
Yes,
that's such a big trend. And boiler suits in particular.
Boiler suits, anything khaki. Which I just can't say it without going khaki.
The thing is the trend itself being utility wear doesn't necessarily have to just be limited to khaki. So a lot of what we saw was khaki and denim. But it's more the style. So boiler suits in particular, which is kind of a more, you know, literally not so much as a fitted jumpsuit, but a loose fit overall.
Boiler suit,
something that you would expect a plumber or a mechanic to wear.
I think you imagine how comfortable they would be to wear.
Exactly. I've heard lots of people call them adult baby grows and things that, you know, secret pajamas and all that sort of thing. And there are lots of people that really can pull off that look and make it look amazing. I tried on a black Ponte one in Another Stories, and I absolutely fell in love with it, so much so that I was dancing around, and just if I'd have had the money, I would have just bought it there and then. However, on reflection, I look back at the pictures that we took of me in it, and I'm really not keen, if I'm honest. I don't think it does anything for me at all. Maybe it's the black.
It was very dark.
But but I like the idea of taking that boiler suit trend and maybe incorporating some print or something a bit more interesting.
But then you could maybe crop it. You could have them as culottes length. So you could kind of, you know, if you made it short sleeved and you're showing just a bit more skin, would maybe make it a bit more feminine. But then I think you could pull off a boiler suit.
Yeah, well, I like the idea of it, and to be honest, I think it's one of those things where I'm going to need to try on a few more options in the shops before I actually commit to buying fabric and a pattern.
Or just buying one, a cheap one, and then you can wear it, and you've not spent hours and hours making it and the fabric, and you can see whether you actually do go for it.
Yeah,
and then
possibly.
And then it's an option.
But my main issue with that sort of thing is actually getting one that fits well. So that would be the real issue.
I think I would look like a mechanic.
Yeah, well, I think everybody thinks that, a mechanic or a Ghostbuster. But you know, that's sometimes they're some of the most fun trends are the ones that aren't that easy to explain and don't make a lot of sense to people, but you know,
imagine my husband's face.
Yeah, exactly. Well, mine as well. Like, what are you going to do? You fixing the car?
Just some serious spring cleaning? What's going on?
You got some ghosts to bust?
Would also be good for dress up as well. You could wear it at Halloween.
Absolutely. But if you're braver than us and you like the boiler suit trend, then we have got a number of fabrics and patterns that we can recommend for you. So some of the patterns are specifically like the ones that we saw. So there's a McCall's pattern, M7330, which is very much like this denim one that we saw in New Look. Yeah, exactly. And then this other one that we saw in New Look, which or Miss Selfridge, which actually had this collar, sort of a wrap over collar
and a tie belt.
And there's a style art pattern that's been designed with Rachel from House of Paniero, which you can't really see that well in the particular fabrics in this picture, but if you look at the line drawings, is quite a good interpretation of that look. And then the one that I tried on in other stories, I have struggled to find a specific pattern to kind of go with that.
Well, it's jersey for one thing.
But I think I would need a slightly more feminine version, and I found this Vogue pattern, which is a very retro version. I would probably, if I was going for the same look, I would slim the sleeve down, and I probably wouldn't leave it as a camp collar. I might put buttons all the way up to the top. But I think you could recreate a similar sort of look with that. But also that picture is a good example of how it doesn't necessarily have to be a plain colour or a dull colour. You can go for a print and make it something a little bit more fun.
Yes, a bit more glamorous.
But if boiler suits are not for you, but you like the idea of the utility trend, then utility in general is everywhere. So cargo pants is another thing that is back with a vengeance. And I haven't worn cargo pants since the 90s, but it might be time to give it another go.
But I remember them being really comfortable, and I loved having pockets on my thighs. I don't know why, I just did. I have this vivid memory of this pair that I had that had lovely pockets on the thighs. I used to stroke them when I was sitting because they feel nice. Nice.
I think my main issue would be that last time I wore cargo pants I had a perfectly flat stomach. And it might just remind me of that. But in the meantime, there's a pattern that I've totally fallen in love with, and it's a new one from Mimi G. It's Simplicity 8889. I love all the details on this, and I think that would be a really fun way to interpret that trend, because it is a little bit more cinched at the waist and it's not quite so boxy. They're wide leg, but it's not boxy around the tummy and hip area. So I think that would be a nice silhouette to try. So they're definitely going on my list. And
I like that Hot Patterns one because I think I'd go for a slimmer leg.
Yeah, well, they're much more like, so we saw these ones in New Look that you were particularly fond of.
Yes.
And that Hot Patterns is very much...
It's very similar,
that look for you. So we've found two patterns, and I think we are going to give that a try. But also utility jackets is another thing. So we found a couple of sort of boxy, oversized utility jackets just to chuck on with jeans. You might have seen in our recent video, our Simplicity pattern haul, that we bought a pattern, Simplicity 8700, which is a khaki jacket, which is very much that utility trend. Yes, and we're going to turn that one into a class. But then we also found another pattern, which is the Julian Chore jacket. Which I think would be a really good interpretation, and I'm sure Merchant and Mills are bound to have More
Absolutely.
because they specialise in that sort of utility wear.
Yeah, you could also take a shirt pattern, something like a lumberjack shirt or a utility shirt or something, and make it out of those similar colours or a similar heavier fabric.
Yeah.
And that would give you a very softer but similar feel.
Exactly. But also, if you like the idea of it, but you want something that's more feminine, then you could interpret it in an even softer way. So if you were to just take any shirt pattern and sew it out of a khaki coloured tencel or cupro or something like that, something that's got a lot of movement and is more floaty, then that'll give you a nod to the trend, but with a slightly more feminine edge.
I think I might interpret it more as jungle explorer than utility wear.
Safari wear.
Because it reminds me of safari with all the pockets and everything like that. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Well, you should interpret it any way
I want.
to.
Should we talk through some fabrics?
Yes, we found some great choices. So there's this Sands of Time twill from Fabworks, which is just £5 a metre. I think that's the absolute bargain one that we found. So that's fantastic. And
it's good colour as well.
Yeah, and then you found a couple from Stoff, didn't you? In a few different colours.
They've got lots. They're £9 a metre, but they're luxury cottons. So they would be slightly softer, not quite as heavy as a twill, but they've got them in about 20 different colours. So lots of earth tones, green tones, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then Minerva, we found this cotton twill, which is that kind of classic khaki colour that's £11 a metre.
Yeah.
And then Ray Stitch, you found one that's in a slightly darker colour. It's more of a bottle green, but we really love it.
It's called Hunter.
And that's £14 a metre.
Safari again.
But we didn't spend a lot of time researching fabrics. This is just to give you an idea. So I'm sure you'll find loads more out there.
It's your own interpretation.
Yeah, and khaki is very much considered a neutral, so you'll find it in lots and lots of different places.
And lots of different types as well. So you can, you could even interpret it with a jersey or something like that just by getting the colour.
Yeah, and if you're not sure how to wear it, think of it as you would wear black or as you'd wear denim. It's a neutral. It's just something that you can mix with any colour and it will work. So you don't have to have all of the earth tones together.
No.
Although that is a trend we will get to in the next video.
Teasing them.
Yes, absolutely. So the final clothing trend that we wanted to talk to you about is one that we are probably most excited about, and Vogue called it fruity suiting, and that has stuck for me because I just think it's really fun. Fruity suiting. So we're talking about suiting in bright, fun colours. So berry colours, but also tropical colours.
Yes.
So
the brighter the better.
Yeah, lots of pinks, lots of yellows, lots of oranges,
corals.
Yeah, and there's lots of different ways to interpret this, but one of the ways that we like best is double-breasted jackets and sometimes even suits.
Yes.
So we saw a fantastic suit in Topshop.
Hot pink.
In this beautiful pink colour. And I tried on the jacket. Unfortunately, there wasn't time to try on the trousers, but to be fair, they wouldn't have fit me anyway, I would imagine, in Topshop.
They were quite slim legged, as we said.
But I thought I definitely want to interpret that. We actually have a video coming to you next week. We've made blazers and they are in very fruity colours. And we're really excited. You might be able to just about make out mine in the background.
Where is it? Is it that?
But you will get to see more of that next week. But they're really, really fun. And yeah, we just think that this is definitely, I love a blazer. Blazers are everywhere at the moment.
But it's just an excuse to wear happy colours.
Yes.
And it's just, I love the amount of suiting that we find in these bright colours. And you have to look for it because obviously suiting is generally much darker, much blacks and greys and browns and things like that. But they are coming through to the fabric stores, and we haven't had any trouble finding them.
No.
Minerva is definitely one of the best places to go because they have such a huge range.
Yes.
And a lot of their fabrics, you will find that they have many multiple colours. So they might have 15 different colours in the same suiting fabric. So it's a good one to start with.
But the best thing about summer suiting is that you don't necessarily have to think about heavy fabrics.
No.
So I've made my jacket out of a linen, a cotton linen, and you've made yours out of a crepe.
Yes.
So you can have things that are a little bit lighter. Because you're not looking for a heavy jacket, you're looking for just an extra layer. I like to think of them instead of cardigans as just a slightly sharper, more trendy version of cardigan.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's just, a nice way of adding a pop of colour to your outfit.
Yes.
And and you know, when it's not cold enough for coats, but you definitely need the extra layer, then a blazer is a really, really good option.
But you can just put it on over a t-shirt and jeans, and your funky, fruity suiting blazer.
Yes,
off you go.
Exactly. So because 80s is still very much a thing, there are some jackets that you find which have a lot of sort of padding in the shoulder, a lot more reinforcement, much more structured, but then you also see a lot more softer versions as well. So either is absolutely fine, whatever you fancy.
It doesn't matter.
And again, that's something that's so easy if you fancy going and trying someone to make sure it's something that you want. Because you don't even have to take your clothes off, you can literally chuck it on over what you're wearing.
You don't have to go into the changing rooms, you can just stand there and try it on. It's fine.
So pattern wise, we did find almost a perfect match of patterns for the Topshop suit that we found, and it's from Named. It is the Ava blazer, AAVA, and you can wear that with the tinny trousers, which is TYYNI, and those together makes a really, really good copy of the one in Topshop, we think. But if you're looking for a more comfortable double blazer option, we really like the Mackenzie woven blazer from Style Arc. The picture here, the trousers that you see, they do actually also have those.
I love that as a suit.
In fact, looking at that picture now, Mimi G wore a suit from Zara. She hadn't made it, but a suit that she wore from Zara in bright yellow, and it pretty much looked exactly like that one. So it is everywhere at the moment, but we also saw slightly softer versions. So we saw this lovely nude, well, I wouldn't even call it nude, what would you call it?
It's like a corally pink, isn't it? Because it's not baby pink.
Salmon, maybe.
Salmon,
but it's... it kind of makes you think of a fruity yoghurt.
Like a strawberry yoghurt. That's what it looks like.
We saw this in Miss Selfridge, and it's actually a softer version. It's a Ponte blazer. So I've got a couple of Ponte blazers, and I think they're really nice and comfy to wear.
They really are.
And if you're looking to recreate that sort of look, then we think that the Richmond blazer from Nina Lee would be really, really good for that, because it's got a slightly softer, less sort of structured look to it.
And Nina has styled that one, her pink one that she made it with the Portobello trousers. Which would be a great wide leg trouser, and they're my wide leg trouser of choice. I've made two pairs now.
Them too,
So they're a great combination of the two, and you can obviously suits as well. You can split it up. You can wear the jacket with other things. You can wear the trousers with other things. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck on that one.
Exactly. There's also, as part of this suiting trend, there is also a trend for shirts are a big thing. Shirts and shirt dresses, so you can go the whole hog and wear the whole power suit wear your double-breasted blazer and trousers with a suit with a shirt underneath,
double shoulder pads
if you want. That is fine, but also they're really nice paired down with just a basic t-shirt as well, so it's entirely up to you how you choose to style it. Now, in terms of fabrics, we have found some beautiful colour fabrics for you. So this mandarin worsted suiting from Fabworks is wow.
They would see you coming.
Absolutely. But a worsted wool suiting for £12 a metre is ridiculously good. So that's really good. And then a French crepe from Minerva in this lovely kind of berry colour, strawberry colour.
Again, they've probably got 15 different colours of that one as well.
But that one's just £7 a metre. And then you found a poly wool lycra suiting, so that's £23 a metre, but that green is stunning, isn't it? And then they've also got polyester twills from £6 and stretch suiting from £15. So we think Minerva is definitely, and Fabworks are both great places to go if you're looking for fruity suiting. That's where we found the best option so far. Absolutely. So the final thing that we're going to mention on this one, there are loads of trends we could talk about, but it's more about ones that we think we might actually interpret ourselves and wear ourselves. But it's just to do with accessories. So accessories are big and bold, and to be honest, unrealistic for me. So there's a huge trend for massive hats. And massive earrings, and I just can't see myself wearing those kind of things. Not realistically, not for what I do.
I like a big earring, don't get me wrong,
but not
that massively big. Do you know what I saw the other day? I had a pair of earrings, and this will resonate with a lot of you, because back in the 80s I had this pair of silver clip-on earrings that were like knots twisted, like 3 ropes twisted together, and they had a gold pair in H&M,
Well,
and they
there
were
you go.
clip-on, and I
remember
stood
those
there and
twisted
went,
gold
I
ones.
had them
Yes.
back in the day, the exact same thing. So you can kind of revisit, you can see in the shops.
Not to mention those twisted ones, I saw a lot of people in Pose wearing those as well.
Oh, yes, they're exactly
Yes.
those same ones. The other thing I've seen in the shops is lots of ethnic type jewellery. So
Yes.
this kind of bright, so your neon colours and your fruity suiting colours again in big earrings. So whether they're straw and kind of wrapped sort of with, not ribbon, but with cord and things
Yes.
like that. So lots of that kind of trend going on. So you've got a little bit of that natural vibe, but they've given it a bit of a bang with a neon pink or something like that. So
Absolutely,
lots of that.
yeah. But also tortoiseshell continues to be a big trend for accessories as well, which I think is a timeless classic, isn't it? So earrings, necklaces, rings, anything like that, tortoiseshell is a winner. But one of the trends that we most like is the trend for straw bags.
Yeah.
So wicker was a thing last year as well, and it's not stopped now, except for now some of it's getting even more rustic.
Yes.
So you can get straw bags with the ends being raw.
They're rougher. They seem rougher this year rather than kind of more. They were more solid last year, more kind of structural. So, but they're definitely softer and more rougher. So we'll link below to lots of the ones that we found on Amazon, but these are everywhere.
So that is it for part 1 of our spring trends video. So in the next video we're going to be talking about specific fabrics and both prints and the types of fabric, and some of the things that we saw that inspired us, and some of the trends that we plan on interpreting using those. So stay tuned for the next episode coming up now.
See you there.